Welcome to Carlton's Math Corner. Today we are going to talk about angle relationships. At this time, make sure that you are ready to learn. You have your math journal as well as your vocabulary packet. Our target today is I can classify angles and identify vertical and adjacent angles. First of all, let's talk about what an angle is. An angle is basically two sides that come together and they share a common endpoint, and it is measured with degrees. So like right here, these are two rays that came together and they created this angle 1. And in the center where they come together, this is called the vertex, or vertices, that's plural. And there are ways to name this angle. We can name it angle 1, or I can name it angle B, because B is right at the point. Or there is another way to name this where I actually use 3 of the points off of the rays that are connected, and I put them together to name the angle. So I start off with on the outside, so I go A, B, C. That's one way to name it. And notice I always put an angle symbol in the front because it lets me know that I am naming an angle. So angle A, B, C. Notice the vertex is in the middle. So B is always in the middle. Then the other way I could do it is C, B, A. So I can go the other way. So there's actually 4 different ways to name this angle. So these are all the different types of angles. We have angles that are less than 90 degrees. Those are called acute angles because they're so darn cute. And then we have 90-degree angles, and those are called right angles. Anything that is greater than 180 degrees, so that means it's greater than a straight line, because here's a straight angle and that's 180 degrees, and it's called a straight angle. But a reflex angle means that it's bent all the way around past a straight angle, past 180 degrees, and that is called a reflex angle. And our last one is any degree that's greater than 190, but it's less than 180. So it can't go above or go below, above 180, and that is called obtuse. It's an obtuse angle. Okay, so we have all these different names for all these angles, and I'm sure you're familiar with most of these, and that I'm sure you've heard of them in the past. So first of all, we're going to name these angles, and if I look at this angle, what kind of angle is this? This is an acute angle. Nice job. And there are some ways to name this. What are 4 different ways that I can name this angle? Yep, we can say angle 1 or angle M. Then the other ways is I need 3 points to name it. So I start on the outside, N, then M. M is my vertex, so it's got to go in the middle, and then O. And my 4th final way is going the opposite direction, O, M, N. How about this one? First of all, is this angle greater than 90? Well, if you take a look at it, and I try to put it, straight up and down, 90 degrees would be a straight line, straight up and down, and then almost perpendicular. Well, it is perpendicular to this other line, but this one is kind of a little bit greater than that. So it looks like it's greater than 90. And so what is that angle called? Obtuse angle, right. It's an obtuse angle, and what are some different ways to name this? Yep, angle 2, angle A, then we could do angle HAF and angle FAH. Nice job. Now, here are again some angles, and if I want to classify them and just name them, this one would be called acute. Not that one, I meant to write it right here. This one is actually a 90-degree angle. So what is that called? A right angle. Nice job. This one is a obtuse. Perfect. Then down below, how about this one right here? If I put these two together, what would this whole entire angle be? Yeah, straight angle. Because that would make 180 degrees. So it'd be a straight angle. Let's look at, here are some other names for angles. Well, we have vertical angles. Vertical angles are ones that are straight across from each other, and they are equal to each other. So if I see vertical angles, I know that angle 2 and angle 4, since they're opposite of each other, like straight across from each other, they are equal to each other. And notice they're created by two intersecting lines. And so that's why it creates them equal as each other. Angle 1 and angle 3 are also equal with each other, and so they're called vertical lines. So, and then adjacent lines, they are angles that are next to each other. So like the F and G are vertical, but adjacent are ones that are right next to each other, like F and H, A and B. They are next to each other and they do not, and they are not equal. They are not equal. They can be. Sometimes they're both, 90-degree right angles, but in this case, most of the time they are not equal. Okay. Same thing is true is like this angle right here, A, B, C. That is right next to this other angle, C, B, D. They are right next to each other, so we call them neighbors, and they're adjacent angles. So if I asked you to identify a pair of vertical angles, which angles would you tell me? Okay, vertical. So angle, yep, 4 and angle 2, as well as angle 1 and angle 3. Nice job. How about if I asked you to give me neighbors, adjacent angles? Angle 1 and angle 4. But angle 1 is actually neighbors with another one. Excuse me. Angle 2 and angle 3. Nice job. And then angle 3 and 4. All of those are adjacent to each other. Now, here's what I would like you to do. I would like you to name, first of all, an acute angle. So you have to look at this and find an angle within here that's acute. Find one that's obtuse. Okay. Then I want you to name a pair of adjacent, so ones that are next to each other, or ones that are vertical to each other. And you can either name the angle with, one of the 4 different ways. Whichever way is best, that's fine with me. Thank you so much for joining me at Carleton's Math Corner, and I look forward to meeting with you again.